is through mail and through the polls in the daytime soap. Consequently, publicity is, and your public, the only sort of polls, or the only way the public can get at you is through mail and through the polls in the daytime soap magazines.
How are you faring there? Are you way up in the daytime soap magazines?
I'm not doing too bad.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about the mail? What kind of mail do you get? Do women propose to you in the mail?
This is a family show, shall we?
No, seriously. Do they? I know you must get MASH notes, but tell me about proposals that people are sincere about. They fall in love with you.
Okay.
Do that too.
99% of your mail falls into one category, and that is that they want photographs, right? And they say, yeah, you've got great blue eyes, we love your accent. Can we have a photograph? Okay. That's what it might take 10 pages to say that, but that's what it basically comes out of. Then you have another 1% that you can divide up. You have the crank letters, and you have the obscene ones, which are a lot of fun. And then you have various other. You have people that write to you on a weekly basis that don't expect a reply, but just like to write and say, hey, you know, we just love what you're doing, and it's just a general critique. And I get a lot of letters like that. And these letters are generally by extremely articulate people that
That's nice.
put together an extremely interesting critique of what you do.
Well, you know, your audience is comprised of, I'll tell you, one portion of your audience, college students.
Yeah.
Very big portion of your audience.
But don't necessarily think that they write a very intelligent letter.
No, I wasn't implying that. No, I wasn't implying that. But they're on their way. They're learning.
They're trying hard, yeah.
What kind of gifts do you get?
I get a lot of bears.
Because of being from bears.
Yeah.
For what reason?
Who knows? But I get a lot of bears. They think that because I'm Australian, that I am
Koala bears?
a koala-type bears. I get a lot of bears. My dressing room is covered in bears. I have
weird.
a table this big, which has just got, you know, it's double parked now these days.
Wall-to-wall bears, huh?
Wall-to-wall bears. They're on my clock. They're on top of the lights. They're everywhere. I just covered in bears. I got a new one today, a panda bear, which is a hand-knitted one, which is kind of funny because one of the eyes...
Hand-knitted. Now, I never take those things lightly. When somebody takes the time to knit something or do something by hand, you can't take those gifts lightly.
That's very true. But when the eyes, the 6 inches to there. What was the model? Tell me, what was the model?
Somebody like that.
Maybe your husband. Who the hell knows?
Maybe the bear got caught in a revolving door or something. Who knows? Tell me about Scorpio and his secret love is Jackie Templeton, right?
Hey?
And she likes Luke, but she's your secret
You've
love?
been reading too much of the press.
Yeah. Is that not what's going on?
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, if you don't know, I certainly don't.
No, I don't know.
But you're on the show. What do you mean you don't know what's going on?
Well, because we have for the last 6 months done a storyline which is best confusing to everybody, including the actors, we are about to conclude that storyline. Amen.
Now, there was some, if I may say so, I did read something that was kind of negative in that they thought that the girl who left the show,
Jeannie Francis.
yeah, who signed with CBS, who was killed off on the show, they thought that was tacky, the way that was handled. Did you hear about that?
I tend to agree that the way that they finally got rid of her was a little bit on that side.
Yeah.
I don't go along with the rest of the publicity that they said that as soon as she left, the ratings went down. That's you know, I think that came from the guiding light. That just doesn't work at all.
Yeah. Have the ratings gone down?
Well, they went down for a while, but understand that everyone's ratings go down in this
time
period.
Of the year,
right.
Of course.
So everyone's ratings are down, and ours went up. In actual fact, if you compare our ratings to this time last year, they're up by, I think, shall I quote it, 1/10 of a point. Now, that doesn't mean a hell of a lot, but
That's
at least they're
not
up.
liver. I mean, it's something, yes.
Yeah, so our ratings went down for a while, but they came up, and ours are now higher than anybody else's. We're still number one by such a significant margin.
You know, you mentioned it a moment ago, and I'm sitting here listening to you, your accent.
You've noticed, huh?
I understand you.
I'm not an American. You have picked it up.
No,
You're sharp, Mike. You're really sharp.
No,
I like that.
I read that you actually went out and tried to you went somewhere for schooling to develop an American accent, and then you came back and they said, no, we want you to talk like you're from Australia. We don't want an American accent. They wanted the accent that is you. True or not?
Well, when you get about 20 agents that say that, you tend to sort of take notice of it. And they said, hey, the appearance we can cope with, but the voice we can't. This doesn't work. I mean, nobody talks like that over here. So go away and lose it. So So I went away and worked on it for a while, and so help me, I spent 2 weeks working on it. I got General Hospital on 2 weeks and 1 day. Excuse me, later. So you tell me what the rationale there was, because it didn't work in my particular case. But it could have gone the other way. Understand that it was exceptionally lucky. I'm next to Chips Rafferty, who was the only other Australian over here to ever make it with his own accent. I'm the only person who have done it in the last 20 years.
Well, Rick Springfield, isn't he from Australia?
Yes, but he doesn't talk like me.
Oh.
At least he tries to avoid me and not to talk like me.
Is there, now there's got to be a little something going on between you and Tony and Rick all on the same show. I mean, you're the
What are you insinuating here, Mike?
No, come on, I mean, I don't know what's in the script. But you,
this is a family show.
No, none of that, Jess. No. But I'm saying that, like if one guy winds up with all the dialogue in one day and the others just have a sentence or two.
Well, understand that, all right, I never work with Rick anyway. I mean, we don't have scenes. We've had 2 scenes together in 12 months. All right, so you can't classify that as being any sort of a heavy involvement. So they just never put us together. In terms of working with Tony, yeah, we work together a lot. And we work out our own dialogue together. We've developed a kind of a patter together, which has come down through sort of a trust of one another in terms of him working. You've got to understand that when you're doing ad-lib dialogue where the next person doesn't know what the next person's going to say...
Are you ad-libbing that dialogue seriously?
Isn't it obvious?
No.
You've never watched the show, obviously.
No, but there has to be something to go by. I mean, even these so-called... What am I thinking of?
Cue cards?
The improvisational groups. They get together and at least work out a premise.
Okay, well, we work...
Otherwise, everybody's talking at the same time.
Right, we do that.
That's what I'm saying.
We work at the essential foundation of what the scene is supposed to be about. And then after that, it's every man for himself.
Then is it kind of eye contact to let the other person know when you're going to stop talking, or what?
No, it's mouth contact. The cue you get on General Hospital is when I stop talking, that's your cue. You got it?
I see.
So forget about what the prompter says, but when I stop talking...
you say, what do you think, Mike? Then I know.
That's it.
You want an answer.
That's right.
I can catch on to that in a hurry.
It's real simple. All you got to do is listen.
I got you. Well,
Don't watch the eyes, because the eyes might be all over the head.
That's like the panda. It'd be like, yeah, you might... Let's try it. Let's try improvising, okay?
Okay.
Now, I've met you for the first time tonight, and I got to tell you something that I think you're okay.
Oh, okay, Mike, I've been sitting here now for about 10 minutes, and I hate your suit to start with.
Well, it's a bit faded. It was dark when I started the show, but these lights are murder.
And what are they
You're getting lighter, too, isn't it?
What are they doing to your eyes?
They'll fade out entirely, and I'll look like a panda in a minute here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, look, he's serious.
You bite your nails.
And I try not to on the air. However, if this goes much longer, I'm going to continue it.
Yeah, and your Grecian 2000 don't look so good either.
Hey, you're wonderful, Tristan. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Thank you,
Continued success, and I'm sure we're going to hear from a lot of young ladies out there who are going to say, have him back, and do more of that improvisational stuff.
All
we
right.
like it. And we're coming right back with Lauren Green.